Bloodstock is the biggest independent metal festival in the UK. Located at Catton Park in the heart of England, Bloodstock brings up to 20,000 metalheads together every year for a special weekend of heavy music and even heavier partying. If you're headed there this year, then here is your ultimate guide to Bloodstock 2024. Bloodstock Festival usually takes place over 4 days across the second full weekend in August. This year, however, the festival has added a 5th day for the first time in its history, meaning it will begin on Wednesday the 7th of August and end on Monday the 12th. The music takes place across all stages on the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, with bands featured on the Thursday on the second stage only. The festival is held at Catton Park in Derbyshire, directly between the cities of Birmingham and Derby. More specifically, directly between the towns of Lichfield and Burton-on-Trent, just off of the A38. If you're planning on driving and you're coming from the west, aim for the A38. If you're coming from the east, head for the A444. And then from either direction, follow signs to Walton-on-Trent. Program your sat-nav for Delta Echo 128 Lima November, or use the what3 words october.mammoths.pushing. However, the festival have warned that when you get close, you'll see yellow traffic signs that will be directing you to the festival. They've advised that you follow these signs and not your sat-nav. The drop-off point is in a separate field from weekend parking, so make sure you're following the correct signs for the part of the site that you need. A weekend car park pass will cost you £25 and 25p in advance, or £30 on the day when you arrive. This allows you access to the car park from midday on the Wednesday, if you've bought early arrival for the 5 days. If you're coming for the day, then this pass is £15.25 when booked in advance, or £20 on the day, and allows you access to the car park on the day that's relevant to your ticket. The Big Green Coach service is running from over 30 locations across the UK and will take you directly to the festival. You need to book your return ticket ahead of time, and the service will only be running to the site on the Thursday. The nearest train station is Lichfield City Station, which is a short connection from Birmingham New Street. There's also Tamworth Station not too far, where there will be a shuttle bus service and taxis available also. There are 7 general campsites at Bloodstock, each one having a name linked to Norse mythology. You've got Asgard, Hel, Midgard, which is the big party camp, Valhalla, where you'll find the Camp Lona area, Jotunheim, Ironwood, and Ragnarok, which is, ironically, the quiet camp. There is a noise curfew in place for midnight in this campsite, and anyone disrupting the curfew will be subject to immediate ejection. There's also Niflheim for those of you that qualify for access camping, Vanaheim for camper vanners, and the Serpent's Lair for VIP. Each of the campsites has toilet blocks and water points to refill bottles and containers. Most will have food vendors which will be open until the wee hours of the morning, but if you're wanting to cook anything for yourself, please bear in mind barbecues are allowed in the specific barbecue pit area only, and most of the campsites will have one of these. If you want to have a shower, these are located in Midgard, but be aware that there can be long queues, so get there nice and early if you want to skip that. They're open from 7 AM to 7 PM on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. They cost £4, and for this you get a private cubicle with hot water and a mirror. If you have an early entry ticket that allows entry to the festival on the Wednesday, the site will be open from midday, but there will be no further entry to the site after 11 PM. On the first day, all general campsites will be open, except for Midgard, which is being used as more of a chill out area with its own cinema screen, which you can bring drinks and chairs down to. Please note that the main arena will not be open on the first day. If you are arriving on the Thursday, then all campsites will be open from midday again. The box office will also be open at the same time. However, similar to the Wednesday, will be closed and no further entry will be permitted after 11 PM. The arena will be open from 5 PM, but please note that there will be no bands playing on the main stage on the Thursday, and the arena will close at 3 AM after the DJ sets on the Sophie stage. For anyone arriving across the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the car park will be open at 8 AM. However, the campsite and the arena won't be accessible to you until 10 AM. The box office will also open at 10 AM on the Thursday for any ticketing issues. As it was on the first night, the arena will be closed at 3 AM across the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The festival asks that everyone be off-site by 1 PM on the Monday afternoon, just to make sure that all of the crew have time to tidy up. Bloodstock operates the leave no trace policy, which means any rubbish that you have at your campsite, please try and take to the designated recycling and refuse points. Most of the campsites will have one and they are cleaned regularly. If you have any camping equipment as well left at the end of the festival that you don't want to or can't take home, please take these to these points as well so they can be disposed of or redistributed appropriately. If you need any camping equipment, Fat Franks will be on site to help you out. They've got everything from tents, chairs, pegs, ponchos, whatever you need. Fat Franks have probably got it. They'll even blow up your mattress for you for £2 if you take it down to them. You can find them near the main arena entrance in the Midgard campsite. Next to this will be a small general store which sells things like snacks and drinks, as well as other bits like bags of ice, vapes and batteries. The arena has 4 stages. The main stage, the Ronnie James Dio stage, is the only outdoor stage. The second stage is the Sophie Lancaster stage in a big top tent on the left as you enter the main arena. You've got the New Blood stage at the far end of the arena, where you'll find the best up and coming unsigned bands, including this year's winners of the Metal to Masses competition. If you want to hear more about those bands, go and check out the Metal to the Masses social media, who have been announcing all the winners. And finally, the EMP stage is in a tiny canopy area near the main stage for other smaller bands. The arena is also home to the fun fair, including dodgems, wave riders, slingshots, and lots of other ways to make yourself feel sick. If you want to try and meet some of your favourite bands across the weekend, then get yourself down to the signing tent on the right-hand side of the main stage. At the time of recording this, there's been no official confirmation of the lineup of bands and artists that are going to be there, but there'll be information released on official Bloodstock social media closer to the time, and there'll be a board outside the signing tent entrance with timings for each band or artists. It's best to check this early in the day just to give yourself some time to queue beforehand if the artist or band is particularly popular. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity just because you're running a few minutes behind. If you fancy a bit of a gaming session, then head on over to the Nordic Spirit gaming zone, where you'll find lots of retro consoles set up for you to play. Right next to this area, there's a Viking battle reenactment where you can chug a beer from your horn while you watch. If you want to feel more involved, there's an axe throwing stall as well. If you're up for something a little more cultured, then you have to check out the gallery tent, which is right by the signing tent. This features artwork by some of the best artists in the scene and celebrates the history and culture of Bloodstock and its community. This year there will also be a recreation of Lemmy's dressing room, complete with genuine Motorhead memorabilia, including Lemmy's hat and boots and a bust of the man himself. There are lots of standard bars dotted around the arena, as well as the specific Guinness bar, the Lemmy bar with indoor and outdoor benches and tables, and the infamous cider bar, where you can buy 4 pints of independently produced cider that comes served in a milk jug. As well as all that, make sure you check out the varied array of traders and market stalls that are dotted throughout the arena, as well as the official merch store, which is opposite the main stage. Most traders accept card, but if for any reason that isn't working, you can get cash on site with cash machines located next to Lemmy's bar and the Sophie Lancaster stage. If you need help at any point, you can find the welfare tent right next to the Sophie Lancaster stage. Alternatively, there are steward points dotted around the campsite and the arena, so there's always someone close by in an emergency or if you desperately need them. Just remember that they are people too. They're just trying to do their jobs and keep everybody safe and having a great time, so if you need something, try your best to be polite. The Bloodstock crowd is very friendly. Everyone's there to have a good time, and almost everyone will look out for each other if there's somebody in need. There's also regular patrols of security and stewards as well, so there's always someone to grab if you need anything. Now, we couldn't talk about Bloodstock's extracurricular activities and community vibes without talking about bin jousting. If you don't know what bin jousting is, basically you have 2 industrial bins with a person on top of each. A team of people will start at either end and will push the bins towards each other until they collide. The goal is for one person to knock the other person off, and the first person to get knocked off loses. Over the years, it has become synonymous with Bloodstock's culture, and although it looks dangerous, it's actually really fun, even just to watch. Security usually intervenes to break things up, but this year, after extensive negotiation between Bloodstock, security and the community, it has been decided that the event will be allowed to go ahead officially. There will be designated bins to use and safety marshals nearby should anything go wrong. This, as well as some inflatable shenanigans, will be happening between 11 PM and 2 AM every night in Midgard. If this is your first time at Bloodstock, we highly recommend getting yourself down there. Phone signal isn't always great, but there are little pockets where you can check in on your friends or scroll mindlessly on your social media of choice. But because the signal isn't always guaranteed, we always try and set up a meeting point before any bands, just so we can make sure we can meet up with each other afterwards. But it's not a massive site though, so even if you do get split up, you're highly likely to lose lose everyone and you can arrange to meet back at camp. As with most festivals, the party doesn't finish when the bands do. There are parties going on in the New Blood stage and the Sophie Lancaster stage across the weekend. The New Blood stage on the Thursday and Saturday from 11 PM until 2 AM is the Silent Disco, which if you've ever been to one or you've seen our 2000 Trees videos, you'll know they're a lot of fun. Unlike the 2000 Trees Silent Disco though, however, you don't need to pre-book your headphones. When you go down to the disco, you'll get given a pair of headphones, and when you leave, just make sure you hand them back in again. There are also lots of DJ sets going on across the weekend at the Sophie tent and the Friday on the New Blood tent, ranging from the heaviest of the heavy to the ultimate cheesy bangers. There's no official curfew on site, but once the arena party officially stops at 3 AM and it is closed, that's when most people tend to try and go back to camp, chill out a bit and go to bed. If you do want to carry on the party once you're back at camp, just be mindful of those around you, as not everyone will want to be kept up all night. Some of the food vendors will stay open for 24 hours, which is super handy if you need to grab some chicken and chips to sober up on the way back to camp. Do be mindful that they will often experience low stock in the nighttime. And finally, if you're going to the festival this year, get yourself down to the main stage just after Clutch's set on the Friday night, where all the main and second stage headliners for 2025 will be announced. So that's everything you need to know about Bloodstock 2024. Are you going? Have you been before? If you have anything that you think would be helpful or you think that we've missed, please pop that down in the comments below. If you want to check out what it's really like on site, then take a look at our vlog from last year, which will be in a card at the end of this video. We'll be there this year, so as always, if you see us, please feel free to come up and say hi. We'll be filming the vlog, so that will be up shortly after the festival if you wanted to see what shenanigans we get up to. If you want to see that, make sure you click subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified when that goes up. You can follow us on all social media to see where we are, what we're up to, and what's coming next. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. If you want to see something similar to this, then you can click on the link here. If you want to see something very different to this, then you can click on the link here. And if you haven't subscribed already and you want to, you can click on the link here. If you want to come and follow us on social media, you can click on the links in the description down below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.